Just because we had fun in the first set, don't you people get relaxed now. Well, the birds don't come like they used to do. I forget the sea like you never did. Standing on the porch when I drove away, I was watching you, and from a mile away I could see your little scar on your knee by the hem of your summer dress. No matter where I go, no matter how far, I can see your little scar. And I drove by the Mexican place we used to go on Saturdays, but it wasn't there, just weeds and stone, just like us. Gone is gone, but I can see your little scar on your knee by the hem of your summer dress. No matter where I go, no matter how far, I can see your little scar. Your morning eyes and your flowered sheets, your winter hat, your broken shells, your old t-shirt, and your laugh like rain, and the little scar on your leg, and the little scar on your cheek, and the other one you never wanted me to see. Thank you very much. That was a song I wrote for an ex-girlfriend. I finished the record and sent her the record, and she listened to it. And she sent me this nice note back, said, "I like the new record. I think this is the best record you've made." And my favorite song was that one, Little Scar, and I could tell it was about me, and it made me cry. Aww. And I thought to myself, well, I have done my job. It's hard. You write these songs for women and then you break up and you know, it's not like you can just transfer them to your next girlfriend. Keep writing and writing and writing and writing shit. This next one here is called Workshirts Turpentine. And this is, oh, you know this, all right, cool. This is a song partly, it's sort of about this little town that I grew up in, South Berwick, Maine. It's not a, it's kind of more of a mood thing, but South Berwick, Maine was this tiny-ass little town. I mean, it was so small. And I'll tell you how small it was. When I was 15, we had this amazing scam worked out where I had a buddy, one of the baddest boys, worked at the Stop and Go across the bridge in Rollinsford, New Hampshire. And he would take the trash out at night, but he also stocked the beer cooler. So he would raid the cooler as he was putting the trash together, you know, sort of, and then he'd bring the trash out and he'd have, you know, a special trash bag that he'd just leave beside the dumpster. And then me and my friends would go and get, you know, would get our beer and we'd go off into the night being crazy in South Berwick, Maine. That's about as crazy as you could get, is having 3 or 4 Lowenbrows, woo, and you know, throwing rocks at stuff or something. And then one night I got picked up by the cops. So I think I was 15, and I got picked up. Officer Dano picked me up. It was the French spelling, like Dano, and they had me down at the place, you know, they had me down at the station, and they kept me for a long time, and there I was in my, you know, all 90 pounds of me, you know, trying to be tough in my leather jacket, and kind of going, man, they're really keeping me for a long time. This is they're dragging this out. And I didn't know this till a couple months later. I found out that the reason they had me so long, this is how small this town was. They had pulled my father over at the same time for drinking a beer while he was trying. I know that's not, but you know, it's the truth. I'm just telling you, I'm just here for the truth. And so they had him pulled over, and they didn't know what to do with him. Because they had me at the station, so they had they couldn't bring me home. They were kind of in a bind because they couldn't. And so I was my father's hero for like a year after that, because I saved him, because they had to let him go so that they could have a place to bring me. So I could. But seriously, that's how small it was. My father told me they pulled him over, and he handed over his license, and the guy went, "We got your kid down at the station." So, this is what it felt like growing up in South Berwick, Maine. Ankle boots, clip-on tie. You go to church and don't ask why. Mama's mad and blowing smoke. Walk through the kitchen, you could choke. Face against the window screen, you're drinking beer and talking mean. Uncle Fred and Uncle John throw the cans across the lawn. Workshirts and turpentine, it's things you keep, things you leave behind. Funeral parlor, parking lot, look in the window, don't get caught. Walk to school, walk back home, and cross your fingers, gonna be alone. Flooded cellar when it rains, and when it snows, tire chains. Lightning flash, antennas down, ain't no picture, ain't no sound. Workshirts and turpentine, things you keep, things you leave behind. Car, a Chevrolet, a rivet gun, primer gray. Turn it over, listen hard, dump the oil out in the backyard. Workshirts and turpentine, it's things you keep, things you leave behind. Broken frame, a worried mind, it's things you keep,